worst was when Time magazine comes out and says Rob called himself the new Elvis, and that Milli Vanilli thinks they're better than Bob Dylan, Paul McCartney, Mick Jagger, all male legends. People were pissed, and it's ironic because they stole music from black people, but that's a story for
yeah, they did. Now, they did. But that is a crazy freaking comparison. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you didn't already know, act like you know, because it's that as so let's hop right into this video. So today we are reacting to the biggest frauds in music history, Milli Vanilli. I don't think I've heard of them, but maybe I have. I don't know. But before we hop in, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and without further ado, let's just hop right into this video.
This is Milli Vanilli. Now, if you don't know who Milli Vanilli is, they were this huge group back in the day that got their careers ruined because they got caught lip syncing. Everybody lip syncs. But see, Milli Vanilli didn't only lip sync their vocals. The vocals actually weren't theirs. It's basically if you went to karaoke and started doing this. Now, the fallout from this was bad. Really bad.
I can imagine.
Well, because Milli Vanilli had a problem, and their problem was named Frank. See, Frank was this German music producer that produced music. Now, this part's important. A music producer's job is to get everything together to make a song. Most people think it's just someone who makes instrumentals, but it's a lot more than that. Milli Vanilli, their actual names are Fab and Rob, come into Frank's studio one day. Frank go,
Fab and
snap,
Rob.
Them boys handsome. Fab and Rob go, appreciate you, broski, appreciate you. Hey, we want to sing though. Frank says, all right, let me hear some. Fab and Rob, okay. 1, 2, 3. Frank goes, stop. I have another idea. So he devised a plan. He tried to make Fab and Rob the faces of the music and get actual really good singers in the background. So he gets really good singers in and has them record a whole album. Now, this is all happening in Germany, by the way. That's important. He tells Fab, Rob, and all the singers he gathered, you guys are now Milli Vanilli. Fab and Rob are the face. The rest of you guys are the singers. Listen closely. Fab and Rob say, no, we want to sing. And the background singers had mixed feelings. But none of that mattered because Frank made them sign contracts. And if they look closer in their contracts, they would see Frank has total control. And since he had total control, he had already released a single. And it did well. So on top of telling everyone, you guys are all now Milli Vanilli, he tells them, oh, by the way, here's some money.
Oh my God. So he literally set them up. He set them up from the beginning. They are going to take the fall because, one, he's just like the puppet master and they're just doing the work, you know? And then the other thing that really solidified it for them to stay was the money, probably, you know? A lot of industry moguls or companies really prey on that, especially if you don't come from a wealthy background or a financial savvy background. They try and take advantage of that and push you into these contracts that will have you paying more than it's actually worth to be paying to them. Like, a lot of the times they be stealing from you. It's crazy. That's why so many artists today are now opting to not sign and just be an independent artist or be an underground artist because they already have enough of a fan base to survive, to be. So that's so interesting.
Everyone goes, well, I do like money. So Frank basically tells them, if you don't want money and success, go tell the truth. Now, remember I told you all this is happening in Germany. So this is like a European album. On the album cover, it says Fab and Rob, the faces of Milli Vanilli. These are the actual singers. Everyone's okay with it. But now it's time for phase 2. You ain't a bona fide superstar unless you're big in America. But us Americans were a little more strict. So the American version of the album doesn't mention the background singers. They explode in America. And it's at this point they're a worldwide sensation. But see, one of the background singers gets a copy of the American album. He says, he's like, where's my credit? And this was the first step in the fall of Milli Vanilli. They were so huge that no one like really cared, but now it's in people's heads. Frank quickly gives that background singer $150,000. Tell him, mess up the bag. The background singer goes, God damn. You got it. The background singer says, hey everybody, I'm just playing. I don't know them. The world said, it's just kind of a rumor. No big deal. And then Milli Vanilli goes on MTV. And then Rob and Fab open their mouths. Now, there's something I forgot to tell you. The songs they were singing were in perfect English, no accent. Remember I told you they were German. So the host of MTV says, yo, Milli Vanilli, you're hot. Tell us something. Milli Vanilli says, thank you. Love America. That's the best German accent you'll get. The host said, they did not sound like their songs. But this still wasn't terrible. It was what happened next. It sent them from a downward spiral to a straight up crash.
Oh.
They perform on MTV. They're doing their little lip sync thing, everything going smooth. And then the track stops. And it starts repeating the same line over and over again. In Fab and Rob's words, they're like, we didn't know what to do. They weren't just going to start repeating the same line over and over again like the track. So they ran off stage. And it didn't just repeat like once or twice. It repeated 12 times.
Oh.
Host runs backstage to them and says, get out there. She cusses them out. They ran out there. They performed. And actually, nobody was tripping off this either.
Really?
I know I told you this moment is what led to the crash, and that still reigns true. You're going to understand what I mean in a second. So all of this is a bubble waiting to burst. The burst was when Time Magazine comes out and says, Rob called himself the new Elvis. And Milli Vanilli thinks they're better than Bob Dylan, Paul McCartney, Mick Jagger, all male legends. People were pissed, and it's ironic because they stole music from black people, but that's a story for
they did.
Now,
they did. But that is a crazy freaking comparison, or even to even put yourself up that high and you know you're not even singing the song. You know that you guys are basically a band, but really, oh my God. Oh my God. That is insane. And I can't imagine how, like, the media sensationalized what they said and just ruined them. I mean, even to this day, U.S. media can rip you to shreds and put you out of business. They really could if they really wanted to. I mean, hell, content creators can. Content creators could get you fired from your job. You know, let you be out here running rampant like a Karen. And just as fast as you rose is just as fast as you fall. It's crazy. So I could not even imagine throwing out that sort of comparison, or even just saying I'm better.
Out and said, no, that was never said. Time Magazine was basically lying. Fab Magazine took them out of context for a headline, but at this point it was too late. And remember that bubble we built with MTV, their German accents, overnight headlines. Milli Vanilli, lip singing. They're not singing their own song. They were done. So Frank tries to stop the firestorm. He jumps out and says, I dropped Milli Vanilli. It's true, they don't sing their own songs.
What?
Gone. The Grammy committee immediately calls in and says, we want those Grammys back. I forgot to tell you, they won a Grammy. And at that point, the entire world was against them. So Rob and Fab hold a press conference to return their Grammys. They say basically everything I told you in the beginning of the video. How Frank basically forced them all into it. How he made them sign contracts and all that. They then start singing and rapping. And actually, they weren't bad. They were pretty good.
No, it's that guy's face. Hold on. Let me run it back. Hold on.
They were pretty good.
Look at that guy's face. Look at that guy's face. He is like, what? What? That is insane.
Frank was listening in. He said, hold on, they can sing? They say, yeah, we be doing our thing. And everyone applauded them because, in the words of a reporter, they were in Los Angeles, California. Hundreds of reporters and interviewers staring them in the face while they needed to return their Grammy, and they started singing. And this made it so they had a chance. They were at rock bottom, but like I always say, if a singer makes good music, all can be forgiven. That's not what I always say, but it sounds good. It's like the Kanye Taylor Swift situation. Everyone hated him. He made a really good album. People were like, Kanye's not that bad. So Frank took some of their old recordings since their names are still in the spotlight.
Why is the standard that low? Excuse me. I am recovering from a cold. That is crazy work. That is true.
And he releases it as an album. And they weren't bad at singing, but they weren't as good as the background singers. So people were like, okay, they're not terrible, you get another chance. But it wasn't enough to take them at a bottom. They were superstars, they went to rock bottom, now they're at bottom. So the ever-scheming Frank goes to the background singers and forms a group with them. He calls them the real Milli Vanilli. Now, this time they had the voices, but they didn't look like Milli Vanilli. So they do okay as well. Now, at this point, Rob and Fab aren't doing too hot. They were ridiculed by the world. They fell into substance abuse, but they still decided to take one last shot and make another album. Frank hops in and says he wants to be a part of it. The background singers also hop in because they actually felt really bad for Fab and Rob. This was all of them who were a part of this.
Yeah.
But Fab and Rob got the blame because they were the faces of Milli Vanilli. Now, while they're making the album, they're also getting sued because they're frauds. Well, I guess no quotes, because technically in America, they are frauds. They tried to defraud Americans technically by not highlighting on the album about the background singers. So they had to refund people who bought the album. They sold 10 million copies. So good, because at this point, they're really banking on their next album to take them out of bottom. But sadly, Rob passes away, and this was due to substance abuse, and as you can imagine, the spark for the album was lost. After that, Fab started his own solo career, and he actually did pretty well. He DJ'd for Kiss FM, and he was able to go on tour, but sadly, he passed as well due to COVID. And really, it's kind of a sad story. Everything was technically perfect. They had the face of the group. They were okay with it. They had the background singers. They were okay with it. They had the producer. He was okay with it. And most of all, they had the audience. And they were all okay with it. Kind of like how everyone knew Jennifer Lopez didn't really sing her own song. They were okay with it. Britney Spears lip sync all day, every day. They're like, Milli Vanilli, who knows, could have been some of the biggest stars in music.
That's crazy. I'm going to end it right there. Oh my gosh. Again, another great way to just weave together a story that is true, but just so well put together, and captivated the entire time, Xevi. Captivated! So yeah, oh my gosh, I almost forgot about the guy that signed them, Frank. So Frank, you may have gotten away with that, but I'm sure it haunts you every single day. And that is so sad that they passed without, really reaping the benefits of their real career, And then also, they should have gone into modeling. They look fine. They look good. So yeah, honestly, I feel like they would have made a killing there. But yeah, that was great. Wow, I learned about Milli Vanilli and the real Milli Vanilli. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this video.